Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJ Drip, bringing you a top 10 list. It is the top 10 athletes of all time. And, one may ask, well, how do you determine like the top 10 athletes of all time? I think it's very hard. I think it is very hard because, you know, do you, how do you calculate? Do you just talk about like it's pure athleticism, right? It's pure athleticism. When you're talking about pure athleticism, there's nothing more pure athleticism than the wrestlers in the WWE, right? They've had some great athletes, Shawn Michaels and The Rock and Kofi Kingston and all of these guys do all these athletic special things, and and so you gotta go like that, right? But then you talk about but it is a predetermined sport. It is a predetermined sport, and I think you know one of the things about the athletes is that you have to be like a winner. You have to use your athleticism to win, and to be a winner. Unless you are just down and out and one hell of an athlete, right? You're just one of the best athletes to ever play the game. And so yeah, so when I was coming up with this list, I actually this has been a list, but been probably about almost 6 months in the making. I thought about this like in July and August that I need to do a top 10 list of the top 10 athletes of all time. Um, and I actually think it might have even been longer because I think this started probably right after the whole LeBron James Michael Jordan thing flared up again, and I decided to do the top 10 athletes of all time. So that's what happened. So this list was my list. As all of my lists, all of my top 10 lists are mine. They are my opinions, and it's just how I feel. So you're more than welcome to do a response video. Make sure you come back and post the video down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. You are obviously more likely to respond in the comment section. Give me your list of top 10 athletes of all time. And yeah. So with that being said, let's get started. The top 10 athletes of all time. Number 10, Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. He won his first gold medal in the light heavy division in the 1960 Summer Olympics in Rome. He turned professional later that year. At 22, he beat Sonny Liston in a major upset for the World Heavyweight Championship. By then, at that time he was still Cassius Clay. But then he then changed it, converted to Islam, became Muhammad Ali, and became the person that we know him as. Since then, the activist. He went to jail because he didn't want to go fight in the war. All his great fights with Foreman and Liston again, and many others. And of course, his biggest one was Joe Frazier. That was his biggest. That was his biggest fight. That's his biggest rival, um, Joe Frazier. And so he's had some big knockdown dragouts, and he was amazing. Um, People know him for Rumble in the Jungle, right? When he fought Foreman and he had rope to dope him, right? That's where Lexicon came in. It was actually HQ the other night. HQ Sports talking about what was the Rumble in the Jungle and everything like that. And then of course there was the Thriller in Manila. He had a lot of boxing matches that seemed to have a lot of games, but a lot of names. Excuse me, later put on to him, but yeah. So and listen, and I think one of the biggest things about him was that he was a big wrestling fan. So that over the top personality that he showed was he was being a wrestler. He was a big wrestler fan. He got in the ring with Gorilla Monsoon and Antonio Inoki and many others. So he was without question just a fantabulous athlete. And yes, not said fantabulous, fantabulous athlete for his time and his day and age, and I think without question deserves recognition of being one of the top 10 athletes of all time. That's Muhammad Ali. Number 9, Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps is the most successful and decorated Olympian of all time. He has 28 medals. 28. And he holds the all-time record for gold medals in the Olympics with 23. He has Olympic gold medals in 13 individual events, medals and then medals altogether in 16. He won 8 gold medals in 2018. He broke fellow swimmer Mark Spitz's record from the 1972 Olympic Games. He is the long course world record holder. He is the long course world record holder in the men's 100-meter butterfly, 200-meter butterfly, and 400-meter individual medley as well, being the holder of the 200-meter freestyle and the 200-meter individual medley. He has won 82 medals in international long course competition. 65 were gold, 14 were silver, and 3 were bronze, spanning the Olympics, World Championships, and the Pan-Pacific Championships. There is without question that what Michael Phelps has done, throughout his career has been stunning. So without question, once again, well deserved to be a top 10 athlete of all time. And I got to give him a lot of credit for doing this on one of the biggest stages, the Olympics. We're talking about Michael Phelps. Number 8 is Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders played cornerback in the National Football League with the Atlanta Falcons, 49ers, Dallas Cowboys, Washington Redskins, and the Baltimore Ravens. He also was one of the first two-sport athletes. He also played baseball. He played baseball for the New York Yankees, the Atlanta Braves, the Cincinnati Reds, and the San Francisco Giants. He made one World Series appearance in 1992 with the Atlanta Braves. He also appeared and won both the Super Bowl times he appeared with the 49ers and the Cowboys. He is the only individual to appear in both a Super Bowl and the World Series. He was one of the fastest men to ever play in the NFL. And without question, he was a dynamite. He was a dynamite corner. He was the first. He was the first island. Nowadays people want to say, you put somebody on an island, talking about a cornerback. Well, he was the first island. He was never thrown against. He would shut down automatically the other person's best receiver. So without question, Deion Sanders he was a fantastic athlete, and then the high stepping and the kicking, and you gotta give some love to Tom Jackson and Chris Berman, because when they would do their show NFL Primetime on ESPN, they do the highlights. They go, when he pick the ball off, or when he start returning a kickoff or punt return, they'd go prime time, prime time, and it just made his legacy even bigger. So really, without question, just fantastic, man. He's probably one of my all-time favorite uh, athletes of all time. But he's not my favorite athletes of all time. This is, the top 10 athletes of all time. So on this list, he is number 8. It is Deion Sanders. Number 7, Bo Jackson. Wow. Really, this is incredible. Vincent Edward is legal name, but you can call him Bo. He knows everything. He's another two-sport star. Played both baseball and football. He's the only one to be named the All-Star in both football and baseball. Uh, it is just, he's widely considered to be one of the greatest athletes of all time, without question. That's why he's number 7 on my list. At Auburn, he won the '85 Iceman Trophy Award. He went to He was in the College Football Hall of Fame in 1996. He was elected there, I should say. Um, oh my God, there was so many things. And then there's that famous Nike ad campaign where I made mention to where Bo knows everything, and it was done by Nike, and that was great. Unfortunately, in 1991, he had a hip injury against the Cincinnati Bengals, and that just ruined his football career. He was well on his way to being one of the greats, if not the greatest running back of all time. And unfortunately, that took away from football. He had to stop playing football. He primarily after that focused primarily on baseball, and he was never the same. He's never the same on baseball either. It really wasn't. So, but you can't. I can't. It is just what it is. I mean, if you look at like the achievements, he was an All Star in '89, and he also won the MVP. After his hip injury, he came back in 1993 to win the comeback player of the year. He had four 20 home run seasons. He had two 20 stolen base seasons. He had one season of having 100 RBIs, and he had one season of hitting 30 home runs. That was just his baseball stuff. He was it was incredible, and he had the opportunity to do so. So he was he could have been something very very special. It just never that damn hip injury really it took him out of it. And when you look at like his when you look at his rushing stats, like the 4 years he was rushing, it's not you look at it and you say, well, let's think what he did if he this would have played football. I mean, you're talking about in 4 years, 87, 88, 89, and 90. He had 515 attempts for 2,782 yards, a 5.4 average, the longest run of 92 yards. and he had 16 touchdowns. So, um, listen, he was incredible. He was unreal. And let me just say this: as a person who loves the game Tecmo Bowl, that game was true to form. You play with Bo Jackson, you were gonna run over people and you weren't gonna get caught. And and especially if he got to excellent. I mean, if he got to excellent, uh, and under there was like a status. It would be there would be like average, good, bad, injured. I think it was injured, bad, average, good, excellent. And if you were excellent, your stats would increase. If you were a team and you caught the Oakland Raiders, or the Los Angeles Raiders at the time, and you caught Bo Jackson on an excellent, you weren't gonna stop him. You weren't gonna stop him. You weren't gonna stop him. You weren't gonna catch him. It was gonna be over. And I love the way they bounced off of him too. Boom, 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 boom. So number 7 on the list of the all-time athletes of all time, Bo Jackson. Number 6, Jim Thorpe. Jim Thorpe was an All-American athlete and Olympic gold medalist. A member of the SAC and Fox Nation, Thorpe became the first Native American to win a gold medal for the United States. Considered the most versatile athletes of modern sports, he won Olympic gold medals in the 1912 pentathlon and decathlon, played American football, both college and professional, played baseball and basketball. He lost his Olympic titles when he found out he had been paid for playing 2 seasons of semi-professional baseball before competing in the Olympics. This violated the amateurism rules that were then in place. Yeah. So, but 1983, 30 years after his death, the IOC restored his Olympic medals as they should. Um, he was incredible. Look at this. Um, After his Olympic success in 1912, which included a record score in the decathlon, he added a victory in the all-around championship of the Amateur Athletic Union. In 1913, Thorpe signed with the Giants, played 6 seasons in Major League Baseball between 1913 and 1919. Thorpe joined the Canton Bulldogs American football team in 1915, helping them win 3 professional championships. Later played for 6 teams in the National Football League. He played a part of several All-American Indian teams throughout his career. And Barnstorm, as a professional basketball player, was a team composed of entirely American Indians. He was obviously, like I said earlier, he was a Native American. So it is incredible what this guy has done. Um, he probably was the first multi-sport athlete in the world. It says that the Associated Press named him the top athlete in the first 50 years of the 20th century. So there is without question a no doubt what this man has done. You know, um, playing all of these sports, doing the Olympic stuff. I mean, he played football, basketball, and baseball. How cool is that? I wish somebody could do that now. And, Kyler Murray, who just won the Heisman, he's been thinking about maybe now trying to do football. He may want to do both. But, I just talked about how Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders did both, but really it's not been done since then. So, I mean, I really would love to see somebody try all three sports and see if they could do it. Maybe they can't, but it would be fun to see. But they wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't from the person who started it. That was Jim Thorpe, number 6 on the list of the top 10 athletes of all time. Number 5, Jesse Owens. Born James Cleveland Owens, Jesse Owens was an American track and field athlete and 4-time Olympic gold medalist in the 1936 games. Owens specialized in the sprints and long jumps and was recognized in his lifetime as perhaps the greatest and most famous athlete in track and field history. He set 3 world records and tied another, all in less than an hour at the 1935 Big Ten track meet in Ann Arbor, Michigan, a feat that has never been equalized and is been called the greatest 45 minutes ever in sport. He achieved international fame at the 1936 Summer Olympics in Berlin, Germany, by winning 4 gold medals: the 100 meters, 200 meters, long jump, and the 4x100-meter relay. He was the most successful athlete at the games, and as a black man, was credited with single-handedly crushing Hitler's myth of Aryan supremacy. Although he was not invited to the White House to shake hands with the president either. So I think that's some bullshit. He goes out there and he just stuffs it down Hitler's throat, and then they still don't honor him. Fuck that. But obviously, he was the most dominant athlete, and I was really thinking. I was trying to think between when I was coming up with the list. I was thinking, Jesse Owens or Usain Bolt, right? Who would be, who would be the better athlete? Who would be more on the list? Now, I'm the one that thinks that today's athlete is probably better than athletes of the past, for the most part. They're more well conditioned. They, the things like that. They train all year round. Things like that. I'm sure Jesse Owens just trained for a little bit. He probably did. He probably was doing whatever job he could have to do to support his family. But Usain Bolt can train year round. And do his things. But it just is that being being in Berlin, Germany, under Hitler's nose, everything like that, to come out and do what you did, and that one by itself deserves to put Jesse Owens on this list, and he's number 5 of the top 10 athletes. Number 4, LeBron James, and listen, I think now we are coming up. The 2 of these are actually 3 of these are still active, and I don't think any one of these 3 has the opportunity to go past number 1. But they can. But these three, if I do this in 3 years, if I go back and do this again in 3 years, I could these next three can easily be switched around. But right now, 2018, number four is LeBron James, and we know what LeBron James has done. The MVPs. He is the 8 straight finals, the 3 finals wins, the 3 finals MVPs, the amount of awards that he has compiled and the amount of stats he compiled in his career. Now looking for to try and win another championship in Los Angeles, to win a championship in 3 different places. Um, Being the man, and it is incredible, and it's incredible what he's done. And he's done it basically without really even being injured. Really, it is amazing how that's been. He's not had like any type of ACL, any like you know arm injury or anything like that. So you know, so he's a well conditioned athlete. There's all these talks about what he does to keep his body in shape, keep his body ready for play. So without question, um, read your list some here. James is widely considered to be one of the greatest basketball players of all time. In February 26, he was ranked fifth by Sports Illustrated. In March 26, he was ranked third by ESPN. In February 27, he was ranked second by CBS Sports. In December 2017, he was ranked second by Fox Sports. And in February 2018, he was ranked second by Slam Magazine. He is sometimes mentioned as the greatest player ever, which has resulted in frequent comparisons to Michael Jordan. In February 2018, earlier this year, Bill Simmons' website, The Ringer, spent an entire week devoted to both players, which Simmons ultimately concluded that Jordan was still ahead. Coaches and players have also debated James' status, such as Steve Kerr, who positioned that James and Jordan are the 2 best players in history. Brian Windhorst, who spent his career covering James, summarized, "No one has ever had much hype as James has had to live up to, and James has delivered that on every drop." And that is without question. He really has not had any scandals. There was like a minor one where maybe like his mother did, took a Hummer or something like that when he was 18 and in high school. But otherwise, he did. I don't even know if that's been really, if that's really been, thought of either. He's just been an incredible player. So, without question, listen, and you guys, most of you guys, you know how I feel about LeBron James. He's the second greatest basketball player of all time. There's nothing he can do nothing he can do to surpass Michael Jordan. There's nothing. There's nothing he can do, and I think it's kind of foolish and stupid to try and do that. Um, I don't care how many more finals he goes to. I don't care how many more points he scores, how many more blocks he gets, how many more MVPs he has. It's over. The debate is over. It's done. Michael is still the greatest of all time. That being said, as I just mentioned, he has a great opportunity. He still can make it up to number 2 of the greatest athletes of all time. Where right now, 2018, he's number 4, and he's LeBron James. Number 3, Serena Williams. The only woman to make my list, Serena Williams holds the most Grand Slam titles in singles, doubles, and mixed doubles combined among the active players. She has 39 major titles, puts her third on the all-time list and second in the open era. 23 singles, 14 women's, and 2 in mixed doubles. She is the most recent female to have held the 4 Grand Slam singles titles simultaneously. She did it twice, in 2002 and 03, and she did it in 2014-15. The third one to do that is sort of thing. There is no doubt that she is just incredible athlete. Mostly, recently she's in the been in the news because she's had some injuries. She had a baby. She came back. And then most recently, I think the last tennis season, I think one of the last times that she was competing, she was docked a point by the judge or something like that, and she made it a male dominated thing, and I don't think that needed to be the case because she was, you know, it's one thing to have a mistake, you know, if you know, because I think there was some talk about the first time the judge thought she was cheating, and she was looking at because her dude was up in the stands, her coach was up in the stands, so she thought maybe she was cheating. That's a misunderstanding, you know, misunderstand like that, but it doesn't, you know, but you know, she just kept on going with it. She was acting like a brat, and the judge just, you know, I think did the right thing by docking her a point or whatever it was, you know. But and she just took it to a whole nother level. Someone that she that didn't even need to go there. You know, but listen, then some of the other stuff that came afterwards was unreasonable as well. There was no need for like the you know the cartoonish drawings of her or the the calls upon her to, you know, as a you know to not be so angry or anything like that. I mean, you know, I just think it's and that was race based without question that was race based. You know, don't be the angry black woman. You know, telling her to do all of that stuff. So all of that was the whole thing was it was just a effing shit show, and but that being said, she's had a fantastic career. She's been phenomenal, and she's turned this sport around. There's been no one like her in this sport to ever play. No one ever to look like her, to play like her, to be dominant like her. And without question, I think she's, you know, she said something, you know, one time before when she was talking about she was the I think someone asked her, you know, how you feel to be like the best female tennis player ever, and she said, I just think I'm the best tennis player ever, you know, and again, it's something where you know it probably didn't need to be brought up, um, it wasn't a big deal that somebody brought up the fact that she's a female, but I can understand why she just feels like she's one of the best athletes of all time because I think she is without question. That's why she's number 3 on my list. Serena Williams. Number 2, Tiger Woods. Now I know maybe some of you are saying, "Wow, Tiger's still number 2." After everything that he's gone through with his back issues and everything like that, Serena didn't pass him up. LeBron didn't pass him up. Well, I would still say that. I think the reason why I have number 2, and maybe it's just because of me, is because it's what I've always thought about golf before Tiger. I thought about golf before Tiger, and when I thought about golf after Tiger. You know, there's this joke. If somebody said on Comic View, that I thought was funny and also very, very true. He said, golf isn't a sport. If you took away the ball, it'd be called walking. You know, so I find that it's funny. I thought that was so true. And I never considered golfers athletes. Never considered golfers to be athletes. But I think what changed my mind was after his father died. For Tiger Woods to go out and win that next, I believe it was the British Open, to go out and to win that in the fashion that he did, just so recently after his father had passed away, I think really turned me around on, you know, on what a sense of what an athlete is, and what an athlete is, and what an athlete. Because athletes have to come over. Because you talk about Brett Favre coming over the death of his father, and right, and you talk about other athletes, you know, using something like that, using the pain or the grief or something like that to overcome their stuff. And so for Tiger to do that, I think really changed my mind about golf. And then ever since then, Tiger Woods has just been incredible. And he's made a comeback. He's made one of the biggest comebacks of all time in sports, and I'm happy to see it. Hopefully, I'm hoping that 2019 will be his year. He'll win a major or two, and he can maybe, catch, at least tie Jack Nicklaus. I don't know if he'll beat him. Maybe he can at least tie him before he retires. And I think that would be very, very awesome. So, without question, did I call him Jack Nicholson? Jack Nicklaus. Yeah, I think I call him Jack Nicholson. It's Jack Nicklaus. Um, but yeah, without question. And again, like I said when I was talking earlier, without question, in 3 years, if I'm doing this again, without question, Tiger Woods could easily go down. LeBron could go up. Serena Williams can go up. They're younger and have more time in their career. But man, I still think Tiger Woods is still the second greatest athlete of all time. Well, come on, let's guys. Let's face it, right? There's only one person who could be the greatest athlete of all time. It's Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has not only is on the court combination, but just off the court the combination. I think that what puts him, at number one. Without Michael Jordan, I don't think there would be shoe deals, and there would not be brand deals and brand logo, and there would not be sponsorships and the things that things do. Basketball would not be the global sport that it is if it was not for Michael Jordan. Luka Doncic would not be playing basketball in the NBA if it wasn't for Michael Jordan. Dirk Nowitzki would not be playing basketball in the NBA if it wasn't for Michael Jordan. You know, and the things he was able to do to will his teams to victory. Once he learned how to do that, once he beat the Pistons, he could do it each and every time. Anytime he wanted to, he could will his team to victory. That's why he won, 6 championships, between 2 3-peats. The countless MVPs, the scoring records, everything, without question, Michael Jordan. This is. Do I even have to say anymore? I really don't, do I? Let's just sit back here, relax, and let's look at the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan. Sometimes I dream that he is me. I can't be myself to be to me. Boom, 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 boom. See, I won't. Oh, see, I won't. Like Mike. I wanna be like Mike. I wanna be like Mike. I wanna be like Mike. Be like Mike. Number one, the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan. All right, folks, that is it for me. That's my top 10 athletes of all time. Once again, if you want to do a response video, you're more than welcome to. Give me your top 10. Come back here, post it down in the comment section. Or if you just want to put them in paper down in the comment section, definitely let me know what you guys think. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy, AJ Tripp, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.